$5.3 million. That's how much someone paid for a single movie prop. It was the Aston Martin from Goldfinger. And that's not even the wildest part. So here's the real question. Which movie prop has the most insane backstory? The truth behind these iconic objects is weirder, more emotional, and more accidental than you'd ever guess. But let's dig into the real story behind some of the most famous movie props. Now, movie props are more than just stuff in the background. They're symbols, triggers of memory, and sometimes they're even characters in their own right. Think about it. What is Star Wars without the lightsaber? Or Lord of the Rings without that one cursed piece of gold? Some props are carefully crafted, others thrown together at the last second. But when the camera rolls, they become legends. Here's the thing. Most people think props are just decoration, set dressing, eye candy. But behind so many of them is a secret, a lost origin, a bizarre story sometimes. Sometimes even a total accident that made movie history. And once you know their backstories, you'll never see these films the same way again. Let's start with the most famous sci-fi weapon in film. The original lightsaber? It was not some high-tech space invention. It was literally cobbled together from an old 1930s camera flash handle called a Graflex. Prop master Roger Christian pulled it from a junk bin and added bits of rubber and windshield wipers. The result was a mythic weapon that would define a galaxy far, far away. And that hum sound it made came from an old projector motor and a TV set buzzing with interference. It truly was DIY at its finest. And you remember that ring from Lord of the Rings? It was, as they said, one ring to rule them all. But behind the scenes, there were actually over 40 rings. Each one was made for a specific camera shot. Some were oversized for close-ups, some were magnetic for stunts, some glowed under light for dramatic effect. But that original hero ring was handcrafted by New Zealand jeweler Jens Hansen. And yes, you can still buy replicas from his workshop today. What about Castaway? Remember that Tom Hanks movie? He's all alone on an island talking to a volleyball named Wilson. And it sounds ridiculous, and it sort of was, but the emotional bond between man and object turned Wilson into one of the most heartbreaking characters in movie history. That prop was so powerful, it was nominated for Best Inanimate Object at the Critics' Choice Awards. Yes, I guess that's a real thing. But nothing, and I mean nothing, beats this story. Jaws. The movie that invented the summer blockbuster. And the shark, the star of it all, it was a disaster. The mechanical shark, they nicknamed Bruce, constantly broke down. It sank, it wouldn't open its mouth, the thing was a nightmare. So Steven Spielberg improvised. He stopped showing the shark and let the music and the camera do the work. And that change made the movie scarier. It created suspense, and it turned a broken prop into a cinematic icon. A mistake that became a masterpiece. Now, props aren't just background clutter. They're physical pieces of the story, anchors of emotion, memory, and meaning. And from handcrafted jewelry to malfunctioning monsters, they remind us that every detail matters because sometimes the object is the story. So what's your favorite movie prop? Is it the lightsaber? The hoverboard from Back to the Future? The fedora from Indiana Jones? Drop it in the comments, and if you're hungry for more behind-the-scenes stories, film mysteries, and pop culture secrets, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and join me next time on Where Did That Come From?